Haunted Railway Tunnel. Deep in the heart of a desolate forest stood an abandoned railway tunnel, its presence shrouded in darkness and dread. Locals whispered in hushed tones about the malevolence that dwelled within its jagged walls, warning all who dared to approach. This place was known as the Tunnel of Despair, a name that sent shivers down the spines of even the bravest souls. Legends spoke of a tragic incident that had occurred within the depths of the tunnel many years ago. It was said that a group of miners had sought refuge from a terrible storm, seeking solace within the tunnel's cold embrace. But as the night wore on, the darkness consumed their minds, turning them against one another. Madness descended upon them like a plague, leading to unspeakable acts of violence and bloodshed. Now, the tunnel stood as a cursed monument, haunted by the tormented spirits of those who had perished that fateful night. The air around it was thick with an eerie silence, broken only by the mournful cries and chilling whispers that seemed to seep from its very core. Few dared to venture near the Tunnel of Despair, but there was one who hungered for the thrill of the unknown. Sarah, a fearless explorer driven by a morbid curiosity, resolved to unravel the secrets that lay hidden within its blackened maw. With a trembling flashlight in hand, Sarah ventured cautiously into the foreboding tunnel. As she stepped beyond the threshold, the temperature dropped drastically, and a stifling atmosphere gripped her lungs. The stale scent of decay filled the air, mingling with the echoes of distant wails. Sarah's footsteps reverberated against the tunnel's walls, creating an unnerving symphony of sound. She had barely gone a few paces when her flashlight flickered, casting eerie shadows that danced and twisted along the walls. It was as if the spirits themselves were toying with her, testing her resolve. Deeper into the darkness, the tunnel seemed to come alive with malicious intent. The whispers grew louder, filling Sarah's mind with insidious thoughts. She fought against the mounting fear, determined to press on and uncover the truth that lay hidden within. Suddenly, a bone-chilling gust of wind swept through the tunnel, extinguishing Sarah's flashlight. She was plunged into absolute darkness, her heart pounding with terror. Fumbling in the blackness, she managed to retrieve a spare lighter from her pocket and ignited it, casting a feeble glow that barely pierced the oppressive veil. As the dim light flickered, revealing fleeting glimpses of the tunnel's horrors, Sarah's senses were assaulted by an unseen force. The sound of whispers turned into menacing laughter, growing louder and more deranged. Shadows twisted and contorted, taking on the forms of grotesque figures that lunged at her from every direction. In her desperation to escape, Sarah stumbled upon a hidden chamber deep within the tunnel. It was a macabre tableau, a shrine to the darkness that resided within. Blood-stained symbols adorned the walls, and skeletal remains lay strewn across the cold, damp floor. An otherworldly voice echoed through the chamber, a chilling melody that chilled Sarah's very soul. It spoke of suffering, revenge, and the insatiable hunger of the trapped spirits. They yearned for release, their anger festering over the years. As Sarah attempted to retreat, the entrance to the chamber closed with a resounding thud, trapping her inside. Panic gripped her as she realized she was at the mercy of the malevolent forces that had claimed the lives of so many. Haunted by the tortured spirits, Sarah fought against the encroaching darkness with every ounce of her being. With sheer determination, she uttered ancient incantations, calling upon the power of light and purity to banish the evil that plagued the tunnel. The air crackled with energy, and the chamber trembled with fury. The trapped spirits howled in agony, their spectral forms dissipating into nothingness. The walls of the tunnel shook violently, releasing Sarah from its clutches. Gasping for breath, Sarah stumbled out of the Tunnel of Despair, her body bruised and battered, but her spirit unbroken. She had survived the darkest depths of the supernatural, emerging as a testament to the indomitable human will. From that day forward, the Tunnel of Despair stood as a chilling reminder of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. It remained a place of caution and trepidation, forever etched in the minds of those who had witnessed its horrors. And as for Sarah, she would forever carry the scars, both seen and unseen, of her bone-chilling ordeal in the haunted tunnel. Despite Sarah's escape from the Tunnel of Despair, the terrors she had encountered within continued to haunt her every waking moment. Nightmares plagued her sleep, and the memory of those tortured spirits lingered in her mind like a festering wound. Determined to find solace and closure, Sarah embarked on a relentless quest for answers. She delved into ancient texts and sought out local legends, desperate to understand the malevolence that had consumed the tunnel. It was during her research that she stumbled upon a forgotten diary belonging to one of the ill-fated miners. Within its pages, the miner chronicled the gradual descent into madness that had afflicted the group. He spoke of an otherworldly presence that whispered venomous thoughts into their minds, driving them to commit unspeakable acts. The diary hinted at a ritual performed deep within the tunnel, an unholy pact that bound their souls to eternal suffering. Armed with this newfound knowledge, Sarah knew she had to return to the tunnel once more to confront the source of the evil that had ensnared those miners and plagued her own existence. With a mixture of fear and determination, she prepared herself for a final showdown with the darkness. The tunnel greeted Sarah with an unsettling silence as she stepped once more into its depths. But this time, she was not alone. Clutched in her trembling hand was an ancient talisman, a relic said to possess the power to sever the ties between the living and the dead. The air grew heavy with an oppressive aura, and the whispers of the spirits became a symphony of malice. Shadows seemed to slither along the walls, reaching out for Sarah, their touch icy and menacing. Yet, she pressed on, her footsteps resolute as she navigated the labyrinthine corridors. Finally, Sarah reached the heart of the tunnel, a chamber suffused with a sickly green glow. Symbols of darkness adorned the walls, pulsating with unholy energy. The trapped spirits moaned and writhed, their tormented forms etched into the very fabric of the chamber. With unwavering resolve, Sarah raised the talisman high above her head. Its radiant light pierced the darkness, illuminating the chamber and banishing the malevolence that had taken root within it. The spirits recoiled, their wails transforming into agonized cries of defeat. But as Sarah moved to leave, a powerful force surged forth, a vengeful entity that refused to be vanquished. It materialized before her, a towering specter, its eyes burning with an insatiable hunger. A voice, dripping with venom, filled the chamber, promising eternal suffering and claiming Sarah's soul as its own. Summoning every ounce of courage, Sarah stood her ground. She chanted incantations, her voice rising above the cacophony of the spirits, invoking the power of light and purity once more. The talisman pulsed with blinding brilliance, casting a protective barrier around her. In a final act of defiance, Sarah thrust the talisman toward the malevolent entity. A blinding flash of light consumed the chamber, and a deafening roar echoed through the tunnel. When the brilliance faded, the entity had vanished, its evil essence expelled from the world of the living. Silence settled over the tunnel of despair, broken only by Sarah's labored breaths. She had emerged victorious, her battle with darkness finally coming to an end. As she stepped out into the daylight, she felt a weight lift from her shoulders, a sense of liberation she had longed for since her first encounter with the haunted tunnel. From that day forward, Sarah dedicated herself to helping others who had fallen victim to supernatural forces. She became a beacon of light, guiding lost souls and lending her strength to those in need. The tunnel of despair, once a symbol of horror, transformed into a testament to resilience and redemption.